Hey, what's up? It's Alyssa from Mixed Up Money and welcome back to my channel. It's only been about, I don't actually know how long, but if I can't remember, that's a sign that it's been a very long time. For those of you who haven't checked out my blog in a while, I rebranded a little bit so that I could focus more on motherhood and money. So that's cool. It takes like a few minutes of just talking to the camera to get comfortable doing it again, so we'll see how that goes. I went back and forth a lot about like maybe I shouldn't do the whole YouTube thing because I've been really inconsistent and you have to be consistent to actually make it work. But then I realized there is hardly anything out there personal finance related on YouTube. I know a lot of people in the community really look for more video content and I'm totally in that realm. Like I wish there was more content. I want more personal things. So I'm gonna try my best to vlog or make a video every single week. And yeah, I think that's kind of the direction I'm going. Okay, that's the annoyingly long intro that I always hate watching on YouTube, so let's get right into it. For those of you who don't know, I've been on maternity leave since last May, but today, yes, today is my very first day back at work. It's pretty crazy because it's a long time, but it feels so short. In Canada, you have the option to take 18 months off of work. You can split it between yourself and your partner, and it's called parental leave rather than maternity leave. I chose to take 12 months, so a full year, but ultimately it's only been 10 months and I've decided to go back. All I'm gonna do today is kind of just tell you how maternity leave was for me, and if you're going on maternity leave soon, what to expect, all that kind of stuff. How my first year was basically, or my first few months were as a new parent. Month one sucked. I'm pretty sure I've never been so exhausted in my life. Well, I know I've never been so exhausted in my life, which is pretty normal for any parent that just had a newborn enter their life. Not to mention the fact that I just pushed a baby out, so I was in like an immense amount of pain for the whole first month. It takes about like 6 weeks to heal properly. Because I was still getting used to having a baby and she was still getting used to being outside of the womb, she cried a lot. She wasn't colic, but it sure felt like it some days because man, I didn't know what else to do. Like I tried everything I possibly could to get her to stop crying and it just didn't work some days. Because she was crying so much and because it felt like she was sleeping so little, my stress was at like an all-time high. And in my mind, maternity leave was gonna be like just this fun time that I got to experience being with my baby, and I wasn't feeling that way at all the first month. I was like, this is not a vacation. This is like worse than working full-time. I know it sounds so stupid and I was really naive going into this whole thing thinking maternity leave was gonna be relaxing and like almost a vacation. So hi, yes, I'm naive AF. For the first actual 3 months, myself, my husband, and my baby slept on the couches because that was the only place she would sleep. She would not sleep in a bassinet, she would not sleep in her crib. The options were on me, on him, or no, that's it, just on me or on him. And I think in the first week we had to leave to go to meet our pediatrician, which was like a big deal, and that was our first big outing with her. So other than that, month one, we basically lived inside, which kind of sucked because it was I want to say between 30 and 34 degrees every single day. We have no AC in our house and there was forest fires outside, so even opening our window at night when the breeze started to occur was not an option. Along with getting to know her and getting to know the entire experience of parenthood, we were trying to figure out how to breastfeed. We were trying to figure out like basically how to welcome someone new into our world that was just the two of us and has just been the two of us for the past 10 years. In month two, I literally just breastfed. Like that's the only memory I have of month two. That's it. Like she ate 24/7. Babies need to eat like every 1 to 2 hours. And by the time they're done eating at first, it's like you're already back starting again. Like you don't get any breaks from breastfeeding. So that was really difficult for me to kind of comprehend. Like I feel like I gave up so much of myself in that second month because you can't do anything. Like I basically would just sit on the couch, feed her, pass her over, she'd sleep for like 30 minutes, and then I'd be right back breastfeeding again. So I'm pretty sure I watched every single episode of every single TV show on HGTV there ever was. For those of you who are planning to breastfeed, I highly recommend choosing like a really long, good series you can watch on Netflix or something because you're gonna be sitting on the couch a lot. Fast forward to month 3, we actually took a road trip down to Calgary, which was really brave, and it actually went really good. It's a 7 to 8 hour drive. It took a lot longer because we had to make some stops to feed her, but it was really good, and I'm glad we did it because I think that it kind of showed her that we are going to be doing this kind of stuff and that she had to get comfortable with it, and so did we. And it made us learn a lot, and it made us a lot more confident in going places and doing stuff with her. Up until this point, she had been really like fast developmentally, like she was rolling over and she lifted her head by 3 months, which was really cool. While we were in Calgary, it was really nice because we had a lot of support there. We have all of our family there, and up until this point, we'd only had my mom and my mother-in-law come visit for like a week. So we'd been doing all of it on our own, and it was really nice to have even just like a couple hours to ourselves. Once we got back home, it was month 4, and I started to feel really confident, and I totally recommend doing like some kind of trip, even if it's just like a weekend away, just so that you feel a little bit more confident, especially if you're a homebody like I am. And also in month 4 and 5, she started crying way less, which was really nice because man, I did not like the whole crying thing. It caused me to be really anxious and really stressed out and wonder if I could even do the parenting thing. Spoiler alert, I could, and we are doing great now. It was also still really nice outside in months 4 and 5, so we walked to Starbucks every single day. I got to have my little coffee fix, and it was just nice to be able to do stuff outside rather than being stuck inside all the time, which is what months 1 through 3 really felt like. She was in the Jolly Jumper like almost every single day at 4 and 5 months, which I think was really good for her, like leg strength and just learning to use her body. Then came month 6, and that's when we did a lot more traveling. Once we got into Calgary, we drove to Banff for about 3 to 4 days. Then we drove back to Calgary. We stayed there for a couple days. Then we flew to Phoenix for a week as a family. And then once we were done in Phoenix, we flew back to Calgary for Christmas, stayed until after New Year's, and then we flew back home to Fort McMurray. She grew so much, like leaps and bounds. She started crawling. She was all over the place. She just turned into a person. Like you could start to see little bits of her personality develop, and that was a really cool thing to see. I think that was like one of the most memorable times of my maternity leave, and definitely the most fun thing we did as a family. So I loved that trip to Phoenix, and I will put in a little bit of clips from that trip that we took as well. Months 7 through I would say about 9, she really started to move. Like she doesn't stop moving. She learned to scoot. So first she was doing like an army crawl, and then she learned to crawl right away, which was really like crazy because she went from like barely being able to crawl to like so fast crawling that we couldn't keep up with her, and she's still doing that. She also learned to pull herself up on furniture. She learned to climb the stairs, and we also started taking her to the pool once a week, and if we can, we go more than once a week. She loves the water. She like kicks and splashes. I wish I had more footage, but it's really like I can't be filming while I'm in the water. So yeah, that's just one of her favorite things to do by far. She is a super active baby. That's definitely one of her personality traits. Developmentally wise, she tends to lean more to learn the physical things before the mental thing. During the months 7 through 9 as well, I always tried to take her out somewhere once a day, but a lot of the times we ended up going to my husband's volleyball practices where he coached because she loved to watch and she liked to move around, and she loved to like be really loud because the girls on the team were loud, and she felt like she could be as well. We're now at month 10, which I can't believe. This month she learned how to walk with her walker on her own, which is so cute, and she loves to just do laps around our townhouse. She stood on her own for like 5 seconds, which doesn't seem like a long time, but in that moment we're like, oh my god, she's doing it! Like she's gonna start walking! She's definitely not walking yet, but it's really cute when she like just is standing there like looking at you. So I do think that she's pretty close to walking. I'm hoping she's walking by her first birthday, but like every baby's different and everybody grows at a different pace, so no worries if she's not. She's almost 11 months. We've started to plan her first birthday. We're actually going to go to Calgary because her birthday is on May long, which is really exciting. I probably wouldn't do like a big birthday party, but because we haven't really met some of our family with her yet and she's only seen some of them once when she was like 3 months old, it's important to us that we get to do a big get together so that everybody gets to see how far she's come and what she's up to these days. Isn't it so funny that I like told you this video was going to be about my experience with maternity leave, but it really was just an update about her, because that's basically what maternity leave is. Your life becomes just revolving around this person that you never even realized you needed, because she is so amazing and I am so thankful to have her in my life, and she's brought me and my husband closer than ever. Like, we already were so close, but now it's like we feel like this tight-knit little family. Maternity leave was really fast, but also some days were super long and super hard, and I think that's totally normal. And I think a lot of people forget to mention that it's not just like, it's not a vacation and it's not just relaxing. It is a job, it is hard, and you kind of feel like you're just alone and lonely some days. I'm someone who feels like they need to be working all the time and doing 20 things at a time, and that's just not possible when you're on maternity leave. She is such an angel, and I'm so excited to see her grow and develop into a young girl, and I just can't wait to see all the developmental milestones that she'll hit in the next few months. Overall, maternity leave taught me some things. One, it's that I truly love my job. I really miss writing. I really miss learning about real estate. I really actually miss my mentor, which is my boss, because I feel like I was growing my writing skills and my editing skills like so rapidly in the short time that I worked before I left on parental leave. So I'm just really excited to get back into that aspect of the job. Two is that life was really precious before kids, but life feels so much more precious now. And it's funny because like my brother used to say that to me, like, oh, life like wasn't really anything before we had our kid, and I was like, oh, you're being like so dramatic. But now I know what he means. Like, it's really hard to explain if you don't have kids, and I hate talking like that and saying stuff like that, but I just feel like so much more excited about my days now that I get to see her every morning. Three, I learned that there are so many hours in the day and it's important not to waste them. Like, I don't miss sleeping in. Like, some days I'm like, oh, I wish I could sleep for another like 30 minutes, but like getting up and being like completely ready to do everything I need to do, sometimes by 7 a.m. feels so good. Four is that I wish I never said no to things before I had a baby. Once you have a kid, you kind of have to mourn the life that you used to live. And I feel like I did everything that I wanted to do before I had kids, so that's totally not the problem. It's just that I wish I did more things, just because now I do a lot of things and I like always want to do stuff with her. And I wish I said like yes to a few things my friends asked me to do, and they're probably like laughing if they're watching this because I say no a lot. Five is that it's really good to be adventurous. I want my child to be adventurous, and I hope that she knows she can do anything she wants. I didn't really learn any like miraculous things that I probably didn't know before. I think it's just like eye-opening when you take parental leave to all of the things that you maybe weren't doing before you had a kid, or all the things that you were doing that were taking away from moments you should be spending with your loved ones. It actually didn't hit me that I wouldn't get to spend every single minute of every single day with my baby girl until we went swimming this weekend, and she gave me this massive hug in the pool, and I don't know, it was just like the best hug I think I've ever had in my whole life. And I was like, oh man, like I'm gonna miss those midday hugs. But I'm also going to be like teaching her skills and teaching her that working hard as a woman is important. So gotta find that balance, I guess. It's pretty crazy that having a baby can change like parts of yourself that you didn't even know you had. So yeah, this video I guess is like a lot more deep than I thought it was gonna be. You probably were like, oh, this is gonna be hilarious, Alyssa talking about like being home alone with her kid. Well, sorry if I disappointed you. Surprise, my camera turned off and I don't know when it stopped filming, so fingers crossed. Anyways, I was just finishing up telling you guys that I'll be posting a blog every Tuesday morning, but you'll also be able to check out a lot of stuff from me on Zolo.ca, where I have my own column about home ownership, and I occasionally write articles about what you need to know about buying a home, what you need to know about renting a home, and anything you kind of want to know about the real estate market. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, you can subscribe, hit the bell notification so you know every time I post a video, and also comment below if you have anything you want to ask me about money, anything you want to see me try that you don't want to buy, because I might be into that, and also just anything at all. How was your experience as a mom or dad staying home with their kid? I'd love to hear. Okay.